BC, I love this fight.
Jack Della versus Leon Edwards, one of the best non-title fights you can make in this sport, right?
All right, tell me about this fight in the following categories. What's on the line, and then I want you to tell me how you see them matching up.
Yeah, this is a who's coming or who's going in the title picture right now, with Leon Edwards really needing and wanting to bounce back. Don't forget, he was pound for pound top 5 in that run with the 2 wins over Usman. Losing the title, who's going to bounce back against a guy, a freight train who seems to be coming, who's got through some injuries, got through some setbacks, but still win after win, even if he has to rally against Gilbert Burns and brutally knee him. This is the future of the division right here. We're finding out. Does Leon have one more run? Or if not, it's JDM's time. The stakes couldn't be higher. The 5 rounds to really find out where both are at right now. The contrasts in how they go about their business. I mean, this is going to be a great fight. And, it's going to be a sick backdrop with London, too. And, they love some Rocky over there. So let's go. Mr. Bob Bellina, Mr. Bob Della Maddalena. I'm fired up,
JDM, I love this fight. And I think you're right. Think of all the non-title fights you can make in the UFC without having a guy change a weight class. So just inside the division itself, and come up with a better one. I'm not saying you can't, but this one's going to be on the short list.
Damn.
Former champion in Leon Edwards, who, by the way, I don't think he looked bad against Gilbert Burns. He looked mostly... Gilbert Burns, I'm sorry. Bilal Muhammad, I apologize. He looked mostly overwhelmed, not completely. He had the big 5th round rally, which I think matters. I had it, I think, 48-47 at worst. 49-46 is also possible, but he did win that last round, at least. But is not over the hill yet, BC. He is not, Muhammad is much older than him.
Yes.
And I don't know, that was his hometown. I know it was supposed to be 5 a.m, but everybody else did the job that they were supposed to, who won that night. They don't really have a complaint about it.
Maybe it was just Bilal's night. Maybe it was just Bilal's moment.
I think it was, but this is my point. This is a monster chance at redemption for beating a guy who in JDM is not nearly as battle-tested as a guy like Leon Edwards. On the other hand, if you're JDM, they were maybe going to save you for that UFC 312 card. That's not in play. They want you to go and travel. You got to go into the mouth of the lion's den and take on a guy who is by no means athletically done, by no means on the decline.
You're not falling back against an aftermarket Colby Covington. You're facing a hungry tiger who's coming. Let's go.
And then, again, the way that Muhammad beat him was a way that I just don't think Jack Della Maddalena, if he does win, that's not even a blueprint he can fucking follow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to have to just duke it out with this fucking guy. And JDM, look at his face. My man loves to duke it out.
He's got some serious cauliflower here, too. That
JDM?
means he's a real man.
Yeah. He's got, dude, his nose, is a travesty.
He can win this championship. So that's why this title picture, welterweight is loaded right now. You getting that 10 to 15 in the rankings, and you got future title contenders like Pratish and Morales.
The thing we had talked about a couple of years happening ago at lightweight, where the guys like the Fazivs are coming and the Saryukians and so forth. Now you're getting to see Sean. I saw you.
What?
As soon as I said the word coming, you were like,
no. I had neither a skit nor a bit ready to go.
Like Ernest goes to camp.
Burn. Yeah.
But in this particular case, in JDM taking on Leon Edwards, I forgot what the fuck I was going to say, goddamn it.
You were going to talk about welterweights and down under.
Yes. Now we finally have the same kind of phenomenon really, really taking shape at welterweight, where Sean Brady has fully materialized into, I think, something pretty significant. We just saw Shafkat. We just saw Ian Garry.
Ian Garry's something significant
100%.
Yes.
He's super young. He's got a super bright future. Shafkat's the present to some extent anyway. We'll have to see. And then it goes on down here through the list. And by the way, we didn't mention it. I also want to get your reactions to the same division. It was reported by Alex Bahunin, I think I pronounced his name correctly, over the weekend.
Yes.
In the same division, Gilbert Burns taking on Michael Morales. Buddy.
Bang air. That is
a banger.
As Jim Lampley once said during Pacquiao Clottey, bang bang, try and stop me. Bang bang.
I remember watching
bang
that.
bang.
I remember watching that in a bar, and then a girl at a different table looks over at the guy she was with, and she goes, "Why the fuck is he doing that?
Is he having a stroke?" No. Bang bang on that. Actually, I want to get your reaction because that's a fantastic fight. But what does this mean for Ian Garry's future in your mind now that we're starting to see people match up with their next step?
So it depends what in the end, it's one of those things where it's like, what is UFC going to offer him?
Like, what's the next fight after
Sean Brady?
after losing.
So Sean Brady, I remember he's in multiple interviews, including one with me. He has called for a fight with Ian Garry. Hello, they have the same management. They have the same management.
Who?
I forget. What's his face?
Jason House?
No. I can't. At the tip of my tongue, I can't.
Does the man have a good hairline or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a under the radar Danny Rube joke. I thought you were gonna bite onto it. You know what I mean? All right, there you go.
Dude, every time
Lloyd Pearson.
Every time you do that, you make a Danny Rube joke.
First of all, I love Danny Rube.
He texts me about it.
All
dude.
right, Danny Rube.
He's like, "What the fuck, guys?"
Much respect to that OU wrestler, that alumni over there.
But here's what I mean. We're talking about it. The only part I can't figure out. Okay, you've got relatively young versus old, Leon and JDM. You got young versus old, Michael Morales, Gilbert Burns. You've got young versus old, so to speak, with Bilal Muhammad and Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Where's Pratish going next?
Great. So what do you do with Praches? What do you do with Brady? What do you do with Ian Garry? Because remember, Brady wanted the fight against Leon. They gave it to Jack Della instead.
I have to ask, what about Kamaru as well?
What do you think?
What if they did Kamaru?
I was going to say, you got to bring Kamaru into it. If you're going to do young versus old.
Who fights Kamaru?
Ian Garry.
Ian Garry? Why not?
Sean Brady's kind of more intriguing.
Yeah, I agree. The Sean Brady one is more intriguing.
It is young versus young, risers.
And after Ian Garry fought Shavkat, it doesn't make sense to give Ian Sean Brady right away.
Yeah, but Garry Kamaru is a pretty big main event.
So I agree that's also a good option because they have training. Dude, when we were there to interview Gilbert, both of them were there.
Yes,
do you remember that?
That's true.
And I remember
also Robbie Lawler was there. He wanted nothing to do with us.
Yeah, Robbie Lawler.
He went the other direction.
He had less than zero interest in talk, which in fairness, I understand that. Nevertheless, but welterweight, to the point you raised, BC, such an exciting time where one school is coming to take over the next one, and how it's going to go, I don't know.
Real quick, speaking of Lawler, BKFC, Mike Perry versus Robbie Lawler. Feldman said they're considering that's their move. How would you be moved for that? I mean, that would be gross in a good way.
I mean, it's gross that they're still in business with Conor McGregor, but it's fight sports and nobody cares about people doing horrendous shit.
Not usually.
Not usually, anyway. It's so weird that everyone hates Greg Hardy, and then like everyone else who's done like demonstrably worse shit no one cares about. It's really fucking bizarre, but okay. That aside,
you like it. Come on. You're you're a grown-ass American man. Of course you like it.
I don't hate it. I do worry. Don't you worry about Lawler a little bit?
I do. Long Island Luke, it's going to bang if they do Perry versus
Are you
Lawler.
a BKFC guy?
No, I mean, I'll watch like the Mike Perry fights, the big ones.
Yeah.
I just want to say it's kind of ironically full circle. I don't remember who Mike Perry fought, but he knocked someone out, and Robbie was either just coming off being champion or contender still. And Mike Perry's like, I know everyone wants to see me beat up Robbie Lawler. And we were all like, bro, that's way too far-fetched. You're never going to get that fight. So the fact that it's coming to fruition in BKFC is kind of wild.
That is. I mean, but they were out of options.
That's true.
Who were they going to have? The Morales and Burns fight. If Burns loses, is he done?
He's done at this level. He's done at the elite level.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lingering. He's not even at the elite level anymore, to be fair.
I think he's 38.
Yes. I mean, that was a brutal knockout loss, even though he was beating JDM, which you do have to consider that. And the Brazilians are built different. We have to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Built different.
And Gilbert also is built different.
But
world champion in a different sport.
I mean, could he still win a big fight? Yes, but we're at the very end of the story, it feels like.
Okay. Fair enough.